People, apologies for that. I should have really charged my, I've been at home, I really should have charged my battery, and then I wouldn't have had it cut out the midway through I'm doing the review, but it's happened. Now admittedly, since I've done that, people, I've actually gone and live stream, so I've forgotten where I was, so I'm just going to pick up where I left off at half time. But like I said, man, I thought we should have had a pen. I think Saka looked the brightest. I think Nelson after that. I think several players need to leave a mark in this game to show Arteta you can have a part to play this season, or you can feature more regularly in his plans. I felt we need to be very smart with what we're doing, because Maddison has threatened on a couple of occasions, Kelechi as well, and Leicester had a strong 5 minutes, final 5 minutes to the first half. Second half, I felt Leicester cost themselves. I think they got complacent. I think they started to have lapse in concentration. I think they started to give the ball away too cheaply. On the flip side, I think we started to wake up. Like I said, I think Maitland-Niles discovered that he can still go forward and he's a good player in that regards. Pepe definitely woke up. Joe Willock's end product slightly more improving. Saka and Nelson are picking up where they left off. You know, the defenders are starting to be a bit more smarter with the ball and force the issue a bit. And I think we're doing a bit more. It's not perfect, but we're doing a bit more. And, you know, what we need to do is just have an effort. And Pepe did very well to, obviously, like I said earlier, it's come off Morgan and it's ended up with Fuchs and it's been 1-0. Then obviously towards the end of the game, Bellerin, you know, very good cameo from Bellerin's gone forward and kind of, you know, well, he's technically played a part in Eddie getting on the score sheet in the end of the game. So 2-0 is obviously calm, people. At the end of the day, it's a ground we've only got 1 win in 7. We've walked away with the victory on this occasion. There's no injuries. It's a clean sheet. You know, we've got on the score sheet and on paper it looks convincing. For me, of course, it's a different team and it's different contexts. But much like the West Ham game, you want to see us fashion a bit more chances, specifically clear-cut chances. And you want to see us shoot more, you know. We was quite toothless. I think at half-time, you know, we had 4 shots, 2 on target. They had 11 shots and not so much on target. But again, you don't buy a raffle ticket, you don't score. I do want to see us dominate possession a bit more, regardless of the team that's out there. And I want to see more clear-cut chances. Really, you know, yeah, people can say it's a rotated team and things, but that's 2 separate teams in 2 separate game weeks, and there's still been same problems. So we'll see, and I think only a lot of that can be fixed in the transfer market. So we'll have to see specifically what is going to happen in that regards. But as I said, I can't complain, man. We got a 2-0 victory. We're into the next round. We can firmly switch our attentions to Liverpool on Monday, which is undoubtedly going to be a tough game and the first test of you lot's top 4 credentials. On that note, though, like I said, I apologise for the technical difficulties, people. And I really would like you lot to like, comment and subscribe. You know, we get over the line. There's still going to be some question marks off the back of this game. You know, as I was saying before it cut out, Mesut Ozil wasn't there. There's going to be question marks as long as there's no creativity within the team. Guendouzi and Torreira are still on paper at this club. And you want to see futures resolved. Obviously, Reece Nelson's linked with moves away too. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, man, I think Pepe in his first start, you know, you kind of saw the good and bad with Pepe in this game. So hopefully he can get his act together and force his way into the plans, you know. I don't know if he'll play against Liverpool. I'm not too sure. I think Willian didn't really play the best in the West Ham game. So I'd actually drop him for Bukayo Saka, in my opinion. I'd personally go Lacazette, Saka, Aubameyang until I change my mind. But we'll have to see what happens, man. On that note, nothing more to add. So like I said, please like, comment, subscribe. DG, I'm out. God bless. People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal 2, Leicester 0, Leicester 0, Arsenal 2, and we advance to the next round of the cup competition. Obviously, it's a good day, you know, we get 3 points, there's no injuries, we keep a clean sheet, and we move forward, and we can now firmly switch our attentions to Liverpool on Monday, which is going to be a tough game. You know, I'm sure Thiago starting will be the bulk of talks in relation to that game. But that's a good game and it's a good test. It's a big test of our credentials in that game. You know, it's our first top 6 clash in the Premier League. So we'll have to see how that one goes. And those games will be coming thick and fast. But specific to this cup game, I must admit, I did think both sides would play stronger teams, you know. I'm not even going to lie, people. I wanted a stronger Arsenal team. It seemed like Leicester were giving chances to people. What's his name, man? I think the left-back played quite well, Thomas. And what's the other guy, the midfielder? Dansbury Hall or something like that. Forgive me for mispronunciation. Drewsbury Hall, I think he gave a good account of himself. And, you know, they gave Rodgers something to think about in that when the chances come, it'll be given. And when you consider them and Hamza Chadbury playing, you know, it must have been a proud moment for the academy staff and stuff, because that's the main thing. Obviously, there was going to be rotation, and we saw rotation. I think Nelson played alright today, but he's linked with a move away. He got a start, and this was important. He's either got to prove to Arteta that, similar to Holding, you might be making a mistake letting him vacate the squad for this year, or put himself in the shop windows. You know, this could be the difference between Championship clubs looking at you, Premier League clubs looking at you, or the top end German clubs looking at you, because you have played out there before. Obviously Eddie's got an opportunity to seize it. You know, on the face of it, of course, it's not the most glamorous of fixtures. Both teams have other priorities than this cup, but we have to respect the competition, we have to respect the opposition. And I do feel with the changes made with Eddie, with Nelson, obviously excluding Saka, who retained his space, there's spots up for grabs. You know, Joe, Nelson, Eddie, El Nene's a bit older, but to a different degree. You know, you've got opportunities to show why you should be in the team. You know, go and put pressure on spots. Of course, you're playing a weak and Leicester team, but go and do your bit to give Arteta some sort of headache in relation to selecting his team people. Leicester made a number of subs as well. The best centre half in Premier League history, Jamaican Wes Morgan, played. On a serious note, obviously Pepe got some minutes. I think we made a good positive start. I think Nelson looked on it. I think Saka is probably the standout. You know, shout out to Louise, who I think played well. And Saka, but I think Nelson had a good opportunity early on. I was a bit concerned because, you know, very early on Leicester had a chance with Kelechi. It scared me because they beat the offside track and no defender was aware of what was over their shoulder. And that's Kelechi and Nacho's game, getting on the last shoulder and getting in areas where they could hurt you. And Leicester kind of showed what they was on very early on. And like literally 5 minutes in, Leno's having to make a big save. Like I said, man, I think we started off positively with that Nelson chance. He won the ball back off Albrighton and had an effort. And there was a couple of nice play, but generally we didn't produce enough clear-cut chances. We didn't really work the opposition. I think both teams were quite open and showed that they can get forward, but kind of cancelled each other out. Both sides made a lot of saves and a lot of changes, and you could see that in the football being played, it was quite slow, it was quite stagnant and whatnot. That being said, obviously, Saka looked like the one to make something happen. He was getting into good pockets of space. 19th minute, he put a lovely low-driven ball, and I'm looking specifically at Eddie Nketiah, but nobody's gambling, and that's one thing that annoys me about whatever team we play. Nobody gambles. Only Aubameyang gambles. Like, nobody wants to gamble and expects that centre half to not clear that ball out. And you know, there would have been a tap in. First 20 minutes, I feel it was one of the most open of games, but I feel both teams were able to get forward and sustain some nice attacks. Neither team is really testing the keeper per se, and it does generally lack tempo. Like, it weren't the most exciting of games. You know, it was quite hard to stay awake at times. I did feel Leicester had a very strong end to the first half, a very strong last 5 minutes in particular. But obviously, you're going into half time, and we need to up it more. We need to raise our game. You know, you want to kill this game, pull it to bed. We don't need penalties. The quicker we dead this game, we can start thinking about Liverpool. And like I said, at half time, again, you're playing a weakened Leicester side, and again, you're probably not going to change Arteta's thinking and reasoning. But if I'm it's unfair because there was many subs, but you know, if I'm Joe Willock, if I'm Eddie, if I'm Nelson, you know, and I get this opportunity, I'm trying to die a bit more on that football field. I'm trying to up it a bit more, because this might be one of the only chances to show Arteta what I can do. So, and I don't feel several players are they're not playing bad, but you're not doing enough to really say, wow, I might give you another chance, sort of thing, in Arteta's mind and whatnot. I think we need to up it anyways if we want to win. I wanted to see a bit more performance, because I'm sure no player is happy when they're not playing, and a couple of you haven't got to start games, so you should be chomping at the bit. You know, we're not really... I think El Nene's having a good game. He's got a good engine. He's intercepting well, but obviously El Nene's game isn't to play forward. Joe Willock seems to have teething issues, and his decision-making wasn't good enough. Creativity was missing in the middle of the park. I didn't see Pepe really in the first half, and I think Maitland-Niles was actually quite poor, not defensively, but you know, Maitland is kind of good with his first touch and going forward. I think he was a bit slow to get going, really. I think the only players that really started off strongly is clearly Leno, because he made the big save. I feel from start to finish, David Luiz was on it. I actually feel Kolasinac was okay as well, but I'm not going to include him. I think Saka. And I think Nelson was so-so. He was alright, man. It was a little positive performance from him. Not the biggest of games, but yeah, like I said, I push. I'm only in an attacking sense. I can only say Saka and Nelson look like they want something to happen. Like, Pepe looks frustrated because he's not being given the ball early enough. Eddie's working hard, but we need to up it a bit more, man. Several players, like I said, need to leave their mark on the team. We need to create clear-cut chances. And, you know, we've been caught on a couple of occasions. Kelechi had a chance, you know, Maddison had a chance. There was a couple of near misses, even in the second half with Perez. A couple of near misses and nervy moments. That's why